to Slipstream League Racing Season 15 of Round 10 of this season's championship battle here in Tier 2. My name is CM Punk, and today I'll be joined by a special co-host.
Okay. Hello, my name is Air Gamer. I was a Tier 2 driver, but I have been kicked, so I'm now demoted to being commentator.
Yes, basically Gunther Steiner of our division, because he was also kicked and pushed into a guy who was on the podcast. So yeah, let's get you up to speed what's going on here in Baku. As of right now, we are a couple of minutes into the qualifying session, but it's been interesting already. Joel 8, who has crashed out on his way out of the pit stop boxes. I mean, didn't even made it onto an outlap, basically, and has already DNF'd from the qualifying session. Just to be sure, do we have vision from the live? There it is. We have vision.
Yeah.
Okay, I was worried because I was seeing on my phone. We didn't. Now I can see we do. Also, Wizawil has crashed on his first outlap, but thankfully to him, he survived it. He only broke off his wing in the castle section, so now he's back into the pits, and the first times are being put on the board as Verge gives us a fastest lap time so far. We got some yellow flags in Sector 1. Keyword Magnussen right behind him. We also got some times from Cedro, Basco, Lepson, and Eversnax. Wizawil in the pits after his first damage. Finsik is leaving the pits as we speak, and the other boys are running up their first hot laps of this session here in Baku. 14 drivers, not a lot to have in Formula 1 race, but considering it's a league race in Azerbaijan, I would have to say it's not that bad of a result. What do you think?
I'm focused on something else at the moment.
Okay, don't worry.
But I think I didn't really drive Baku this game, so I'm not really sure about the times. But what I saw was Basco and Lipson, they were like right next to each other or right behind each other, and they gave Slipstream to each other. And I have no idea if they're like friends or teammates, but that was weird from two competing teams.
Okay, maybe they're very close friends. We can see them right now, as in P6 and P7, they're riding right behind one another. So Basco is right behind Lepson. Now the question is, do they actually want this kind of cooperation or not so much? Both of them going to the left side to let through the other McLaren of Smelter, probably an in-lap. We do have info from the chat from Delta Zeron. I hope Eversnax drives into a wall. I mean, that's harsh. We don't hope that Haas driver will face the wall. I mean, it's a possibility in here that almost everybody will face the wall at some point, like Joel did coming out of the pit lane. But yeah, we are going to the session with 12 minutes left to go, and the Red Bull driver Verge is so far unfazed as he sits in provisional pole position with Smelto joining him in the club of the boys who went underneath 140 as he joins the 139 club, sitting right back at the Verge.
And let's go on board with Finsik. He's just starting his lap. I want to see. Oh, this is very loud. I'll just be off board for him, but let's see how he drives the circuit. The circuit is very, braking heavy, 90-degree turns, and it's a very difficult one to navigate, especially for inexperienced drivers. But that's okay. Let's see.
Somebody was in this booth, but I don't know who that was.
Oh, Finsik with a purple sector 1. That's great from him. I think he was a champion or near champion for Tier 3, so he has a right to back up, as he was one of the best drivers in SLR. But let's see, he just came back from a break, and it's a new game, so not really gonna carry his pace from last game, but we'll see what he performs today here.
He's going through Sector 2 as we speak, and we'll see how good is this one going to be. The time to beat as of right now is 1:39.223, the time of the Red Bull driver Verge, who is still sitting provisional pole, and that's a second purple as well. So Finsik, if you won't have an absolute carnage in the final sector, where you can't lose too much time, even if you want to, you're gonna have a provisional pole position, because it's just a long straight all the way through to the finish line. As he passes McLaren, opens a DRS, runs on the absolute least of his battery, crosses the finish line, and he doesn't get the job done. Just misses out. What has happened? Was it just on the line, or was something has happened in Sector 3? Because where do you miss out this kind of advantage? He was purple in first and second, maybe he just went wrong into these quick corners in sector 3 because he missed out just a bit, but he did miss out his P2 as of right now.
I'm feeling that he just ran out of his ERS at the end of the straight line, and he just maybe didn't really manage his ERS effectively throughout the lap, and that maybe compromised his last sector as he was flashing near the mid of the last straight.
We have Wizard coming into the pits after his in-lap. Not sure what happened there. He definitely crashed on his first lap. He retires now, so he will not be participating in the qualifying session for reasons that we are not aware of. So yeah, that's the session done for the Williams drivers. So Corey, Voice, Joel, and Wizard for many reasons will not be participating in a qualifying session here today in Baku. So Verge is still sitting at provisional pole position. Only 3 drivers managed to go underneath 140. Keyboard Magnussen, who arguably has one of the easier tracks to drive around on the keyboard. Oh, we have yellow flags.
Serco, I was watching his lap. He was the only one doing a hot lap, and I think he locked up his rear tires into. I have no idea what that turn is, but one of the turns he locked up his rear tires, and I think he threw away maybe a good lap there for top 4, top 3 maybe.
Ooh. Yeah, usually Lars is the one who knows all the corner names. I also have no idea how they're called. I do know the castle section, but not knowing the castle section in the Formula 1 would be a bit weird and surprising to say the least. So yeah, let's see what the times we got going on. Everett Snacks in the house just delivered a purple second sector on his hot lap as he's trying to improve from P10 sitting right now, sliding his car across the castle section, but he does it very gentle and smooth, so this could be a good one for Everett Snacks as he heads into second sector. Sorry, first sector is purple.
Yep.
Second is now just begun.
He is right behind Kevin Magnussen, both in the hot lap at the moment, and maybe they're helping each other. Maybe I think Everett Snacks is a bit too far to get Slipstream, but we'll see if it has an effect.
This could be very useful to him, and even without it, this could be a good one as he enters the third sector. The second one wasn't purple, but it doesn't have to be, as we saw that the last sector could be important. We saw that on the example of Finsick, who lost the provisional pole position in the final sector. So here comes Ever Snacks. Can he improve in his final sector? As we have Keyboard Magnussen going up to P3, and Ever Snacks pushing him down to P4 as he moves up to P3 himself. So it's now at least 5 drivers who managed to go underneath 140, and it's not done yet.
Verge improves by only 1/10. He is pushing his maximum pace at the moment, but the McLarens, you see them in oh my god, again with the tactics. They're doing a slipstream again. Oh my god. And they are the only team that's doing these team tactics, but you know, fair play to them. They are, you know, helping each other, and Slipstream is very powerful in this game, so it's good to utilize it, especially at Baku and Monza. I think last week or the week before they did the same.
Yeah, exactly. When it comes to track-wise this season on the calendar, this track is one of the most important ones when it comes to Slipstream. You just have these incredibly large straights, long straights, so you have to use Slipstream as much as possible to get the most beneficial lap time for yourself. I see Basco going behind Smelto, so the person from P10 is most likely going to go for a possible improvement from the bottom of the qualifying stage right now, as Lepson has also made underneath 140, but is only sitting at P6 at the moment. We are waiting for some additional times to be put on the board, as Basco wondering what time is he going to put right now with 6 minutes to go. He does improve by 0.3 of a second, so that would put him at 140.1, so not even close enough to going for provisional pole front row. Let's see how huge that improvement is going to be in the final main straight as he lines up behind his teammate. He's not too close, not too far away. He's going to get a bit of benefit.
He's not even going behind him.
Yeah, I just noticed. What was that about? As he didn't quite get it. He goes up to P6. Smelto, on the other hand, he improves significantly to go P2, and he's just in the back of Verge, who is still standing at provisional pole position, but the McLarens are there threatening them right now. We do have Horizon on his quick lap, as he's going through sector 3, sitting at P10 at the moment. Just a couple of drivers who didn't manage to go underneath 140 so far. It's Lefter is a lead, sorry. Zero, Horizon, and Magnetic. Let's see if the Haas driver will beat the time. And he does go 140.013. Just not enough as he sits P8. So not the greatest time for him. Holy Voice was screaming in chat. It was turn 7 regarding the incident we were discussing before when it comes to which turn was that. So thank you for that. The more we know. Alright, let's see what's going on. So Smelto is surely gonna be waiting a bit right now. Finzik, he should be on a quick lap, and he is burning the battery. Larson has joined the party. The new challenger has appeared at P14 right now in the pits. We'll see if he makes a quick time lap, or will he not? As a Ferrari driver is going through a second sector, he did have the pace on his first run to go for pole position. He couldn't quite use it, just enough to go to the top, and now he's sitting at P3 while being under threat from a couple of drivers, so he has to improve. He was improving just a bit after the second sector. We'll see if that's going to be enough to possibly go for a pole position.
It was 4/10 improvement at sector 2. Oh my god, let's see what it does now.
If that's the case, this would have been huge. Finzik across the finish line, and he does go 139.050, the best time of the session so far. Now that is a challenge thrown towards the Red Bull driver Verge. I mean, Verge seemed untouchable so far this session, sorry. But now Finzik has definitely topped that with a big mark upon the rest of the grid. Now we'll see if anybody will even come close to this, as the Ferrari driver definitely is making a statement. Yes, I do have the pace from the previous game, and I'm bringing it right here and right now. We'll see if anybody else will be able to reply, as we have some yellow flags, but that is most likely just to letting other drivers pass. Yes, exactly. Magnetic is currently beginning his hot lap. Zero is in the middle of his hot lap.
Yeah, I think he just touched the wall though. I saw him bump the wall there, that turn before this one. Oh, turn 6. Yes, thank you, Holy Voice. Just calculating from that turn. But let's see, he messed up his lap. And he invalidates.
Yep. Yeah, he's done with 2 minutes left to go. Most likely not going to have enough time to go for another lap. As we see, Verge is already on an outlap, looking to beat this time. Smelto is coming onto the track from the pits as we speak. Eversnacks is just beginning his hot lap, question mark? No, he doesn't have enough battery. He's just beginning it. Keyboard Magnussen is down in his first sector, so there will be a couple of improvements all the way to the finish line. I think Finzik is done with the session. Verge is definitely going to go for one more lap. Same with Smelto. Not sure about Eversnacks. Keyboard is on a hot lap right now, surely. Basco on an outlap, Labston on an outlap, Lefter on an outlap, so a couple of improvements. Zero is most likely done. Magnetic, he is on outlap. We're going to have to wait one more round of laps to see who's going to be on the top. Finzik has set the bar very high. Now it's going to be tough to top this guy.
Oh, wait.
As he does.
Keyboard is improving by half second. He's 5/10 improvement at the moment. He's challenging Finzik for pole. Finzik already retired and he left. Okay, he left the car. He went to the bathroom maybe, but let's see what Keyboard Magnussen can do.
He's Keyboard Magnussen do it.
Almost.
Not enough. I mean, it is better than Red Bull. It is better than Red Bull by 5,000th of a second. But then again, Verge is on a quick lap right now. So is Keyboard gonna stay on the front row? Well, it's gonna be in the hands of Red Bull's Verge and most likely McLaren's Smelto, as McLarens are doing the same shenanigans again, going right behind each other. So McLarens will surely put up a fight. Verge is not really improving after his first sector. He wasn't too far away from improvement. He's gonna have to push really hard through second and final sector if he wants to top at least Keyboard Magnussen, not even mentioning the great time from Finzik.
I'm unsure what the McLaren are doing. They're using hot lap mode and they're not using overtake.
Maybe they didn't get the memo that in this game you have to use the overtake in quality. I'm not sure. Well then, let's see what's gonna happen as Verge delivers a purple second sector with a slight improvement. It wasn't enough for pole position as of right now, but there's one more sector to go as Horizon is done with his lap time sitting at P8. Cito is done at sitting at P10. But now all eyes on the Red Bull of Verge as he goes across the finish line from P3. Can he regain the pole position? And he does for now. 138.8. Take a bow as Verge delivers a stunning lap time. And now the question is that it? Because McLarens are on the run, but can they even challenge that? We were surprised by Finsick time, but Verge just absolutely stunned everybody with this one.
Demolished. But let's see what Lefteris does. He's improving by 3 3/4, and he goes up to P7. Great lap from the Aston Martin. His first race here at Tier 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Great lap from him. And now let's see what the McLarens will deliver as Smelto is heading into the final sector with his teammate Basco right in the back of him. Keyboard Magnussen heads into the pits, and McLarens, McLarens are coming down to the final long main straight. Smelto's gonna cross the finish line first, followed by Basco. Will they improve and how much? Smelto from P4 stays P4, Basco will stay P6, and Eversnacks stays P5. The only driver was Larson, who is done. He didn't make it in time, I believe.
No,
actually, he went for P10.
Yeah,
I didn't just realize that. So he did manage to close the lap, and he moved up into P10. So the final results are in. Verge with a stunning lap will begin from pole. Finsick right behind him. Then his national buddy, Keyboard Magnussen, 2 Finns in P2 and P3. Smeltso in P4. Then we got Eversnacks, Basco, Lefter, Lepson, and Horizon, and Larson closing out the top 10. For the bottom 10, we got Magnetic, Zero, Wizzowell, Joel, and Crowley Voice. And that is the grid for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix that is about to go down underway. And wow,
yeah.
what a lap for Verge.
I'm hearing news from the Ferrari garage. Finsick is now updating his steering wheel Windows update.
Yeah.
So he might lose a lot of positions at the start, but I think he will be able to take control of the car when he comes back, hopefully. But
let's hope
no clouds, no chance of rain at all. Seems like the sky is clear.
Yeah, that is a good news for the drivers, surely, because racing here while it's raining is definitely not an easy task. Racing in here dry is already a tough one. Racing in here wet is even worse. So that's definitely a good news for the drivers. Verge with a stunning lap in the qualifying session, but despite this great dominance from him, it's not entirely done with the race because the race has different rules. You have to avoid and stay focused for the entirety of the race. For 100% of the race, you have to stay focused and you're not allowed to make a single mistake. There was some room for error in the qualifying session, but now this is done. You have to lock in and you have to deliver the most you can throughout the whole race. And who's gonna deliver the best as the lights are turning red? We're about to go racing in Baku yet again. Round 10, and here we go as Verge gets underway, followed by Finsick. Finsick, who's really struggling. Keyboard Magnussen trying to go on the build up to P2. Aston Martin going heavily to the left side. Keyboard Magnussen will stay in P2. Smelter goes up into P3. Snacks goes down to goes up to P4. Basco is now in P5. Finsick is dropping heavily. He just goes. I don't think it's driving, or at least he's struggling heavily. As Eversnacks and Smelter are fighting already to regain the positions, and Smelter will so far win this battle. Surely no chance for Eversnacks as Basco right in back of him. Finsick keeps dropping places, and something is definitely wrong with the crowd.
Yeah, and there's somebody on the back here between Joel, Larson, and Cairo, but it's all now settled. And this is not a place for overtakes in the sector 2. But there's a retirement or crash.
We don't have any of those actually. I'm not sure why the yellow flag was there. Must have been some kind of contact.
Yeah, I know. I think Cairo spun, and he's now recovered his car, and I think no damage, hopefully.
Magnetic also had a mishap because he's now down to P13, so Mercedes is also struggling a bit. In the meantime, Pinsik keeps dropping down the card, so most likely he's going to be right in the back of the grid.
Let's see, Kimo Magnussen is on the back of Birch, and Slipstream is easily side by side here. Now it's all equal. Now let's see the top speed. The Sauber is always going for the 0-0 wings, and they seem to be paying off here at Baku. But Birch tries to squeeze by into inside in turn 1, but he's not gonna be able to. And Kimo Magnussen stays in P1.
If we can just put on tires for this previous stage, I think we're going to run tires sooner or later. I can see interesting thing about the tires that the only person on soft compound is Crowley Voice. The only person on softs on the track right now. He's sitting P7 right now. Oh, we have a spin. We have a spin from Lepson, who has spawned. He did mention before the race, this is my first race without the ABS. So don't laugh at me. We're not going to do that. We're just going to point it out. Lepson has spawned in the last 2 positions. In the meantime, Zero had to make a pit stop, but he did make a pit stop. I saw the pit stop icon, but he still doesn't have a front wing, so possibly just forgot to change manually.
Big crash in Kazakhstan, and Birch loses his end plate. Oh, this is a big crash, and Magnussen is already 1.5 seconds ahead of P2.
Yeah, Keyboard Magnussen just got hit with a nice present from Smelto and Verge, who were battling, and they're now struggling so much due to the damage. Keyboard Magnussen has built a gap for 1.4 seconds, which means that the Smelto, unless he closes the gap in the next lap, will not have DRS coming back to Keyboard Magnussen. That's a huge improvement, because DRS in Baku is crucial. If you manage to pull yourself away from the DRS straight, you are on the highway all the way to the victory. Yellow flags at 0. Probably spawned or crashed. We don't have any kind of safety car right now. We do have Crowley Boys. On the left side. How many overtakes was that for P2? No, for P3, but still, he was like, oh, bang.
Oh, he pushes.
He collected him. No, he collected Haas into a wall. I was about to praise him. He picked up like 4 positions, but that was too much. He cut too deep to the inside. He was pushed away to the outside, and he went right into the Haas of, who was that, Horizon or Eversnax?
No, I think it's Eversnax. Yeah, I think it's Eversnax.
Yeah, he's missing front right wing, so that is a big one for Eversnax, who basically got collected by maneuver of Crowley Boys. He was looking great. He had all the pace in the world on this long main straight, but then this maneuver was absolutely a big no-no, and now Eversnax is going to pay the consequences, and we have Larson slipping in the back. That was V-card as well. So yeah, plenty of action already going on here at the streets of Baku. Keyboard Magnussen already 2 seconds worth of gap over Smelto, who is now followed by his teammate Bastco. Holy Voice, did he manage to avoid the damage in this collision? And look at his front wing, doesn't seem to be too bruised.
He was the one who caused the damage, but he survived, and the other guy, he got damaged. But I think you see the gaps are building up. You see the mistakes coming in. This is Baku. This is a challenge that drivers facing here. It's extremely hard to maneuver the corners as fast as possible. And as Lefteris gets past, that was nice.
He's going to keep dropping positions. He's most likely going to go to the pits right now as he's hugging the left side of the wall, and there he goes into the pits. Meanwhile, Crowley Voice, he's trying to focus on himself, trying to get this out of the pit and just focus on his own race, because he did manage to climb himself up into P3. He's currently in a McLaren sandwich, racing against Smelto and Basco.
And Magnussen is 2.3. He is going away from the pack as quickly as possible, and he has the pace. He's proving that lap by lap here.
I mean, he did burn a bit more battery than McLaren's, but still, Crowley Voice is racing McLaren's as well. Crowley Voice has a lot of battery. He's on softs, so Crowley Voice will most likely pass Smelto with the next possible occasion, or will just try to hunt down Magnussen. The question is how quick can do that, because these softs will degrade sooner than those mediums. We do have some people in the midfield on the hards, some in the midfield on mediums. It's a matter of your preparation as it's right now. We'll see if Crowley Voice will be able to use these soft tires to actually hunt down Keyboard Magnussen. He had a bit of a slip up coming out of the corner, but I'm sure he's going to get Smelto using the DRS on the straight. And look at the gap, it's already less than 2 seconds. It was 2.5 just moments ago. So I'm pretty sure Crowley Voice has the pace to catch Magnussen, but can he use it without any additional mistakes like we saw against Eversnax? That is crucial to stay out of trouble and focus on their job as they head towards the main straight. And Crowley Voice will definitely get ahead of Smelto right now as he's right at the back of the McLaren, going to the left, passing McLaren already. Gonna open the DRS sooner or later. There it is, popping up. And now 2 seconds worth of gap that Keyboard Magnussen has over Crowley Voice will surely start degrading as the race will go on.
Yeah. Easy in the inside for Lefteris with the DRS and he goes up 6.
Oh, and I just realized we had a mishap with McLaren's because Smelto, yes, he was a ghost for a moment, and there is a reason because Smelto, I can see, doesn't have a right side wing plate. So Smelto must have hit the wall somewhere as the guys in the midfield were battling. I just heard the camera turn. In the meantime, Zero gets a 3-second time penalty. But something must have happened to Smelto. He's not missing a huge chunk of wing, and surely we'll get some kind of benefit from this one on the straights. But remember, it's Baku. It doesn't forgive your mistakes. It's cruel, so Smelto will surely struggle to keep up behind his teammate. And in the meantime, look at the gap between Crowley and Magnussen. It's gone. It doesn't exist. Magnussen is struggling, sliding, trying to keep the lead, but he can't do anything as Crowley Voice, remember, he was starting. Let me just check that real quick. He was starting. How many positions he gained? He gained 13 positions, just for your memory. In the meantime, 3 seconds time penalty for Wizard. But he gained 13 positions. I know this maneuver was absolutely disgusting, what he did with Eversnax, but he's going to be leading the Grand Prix after what? 6 laps, not even 6, 5 laps of racing, by gaining 14 places. Now that is surely not a small achievement for the Scuderia Ferrari driver. I mean, wow. I'm looking at FinSync, and unfortunately FinSync is still not a race.
Magnussen is not giving up. He's not giving up, Magnussen. Ooh, as he goes deep, turn 1, and Crowley with the switchback. Oh my god, what a move from Crowley Voice. He goes up to P1. Wow.
I had flashbacks from Eversnack's incident. I was afraid if Crowley will bag the kick Sauber into the wall as well.
Look! Top speed! Oh my god, the top speed is like unbelievable as he's going back in the pits. But
it's done with this Grand Prix. Keyboard Magnussen actually doing a great job for himself because the longer he can fight Crowley Voice side by side and basically be ahead of him while he's on technically worse tires because these softs are still at least a little bit better than mediums, it's a great benefit for him because in a moment these softs will degrade to the point that they will be worse than mediums. Again, it's hard to pull away from the DRS zone in here in Baku, but if you can head into the pits before your opponent, that's a great news for you. So that is a great thing that he's got going on right now. Even more, better for him, Basco is on the back of Crowley Voice, so now he's going to join the party, and he will fight the Ferrari as well, with his teammate Smelto sitting up on 4 patiently right now after having some wing damage. He's still keeping up with the rest at the top, so this could be a 4-way battle for the victory all the way to the finish line, as the only person behind them is Horizon, but he's only at P5, 5 seconds behind the top 4 guys, so most likely Keyboard, Crowley, Basco, and Smelto will fight for the win all the way to the finish line.
Yeah, and honestly, I think it seems like Crowley Voice has lost his tires. I think he's betting on a emergency safety car. It hasn't come yet, and the softs are going to be screaming for good in the next few laps here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he definitely used these tires as much as possible to climb up the field, and now he's going to have to pick up behind Magnussen on a DRS and Slipstream, hoping to not fall off from the gap, as he's definitely getting too close, and will he make a move on the lead of the race? Not so far. He's going to back it off and sit behind the kick Sauber. I don't think the top guys should be actually battling too much because it only improves their risk. As I was saying, that there was a slip up and Zero has retired, but was it in the pit lane though?
No, it's section.
We don't have a safety car. No, we're not gonna have a safety car. despite Zero retiring on the track. Because he didn't crash, he spawned and now his AI is coming to the pits, or at least pulling up to the sideway. So that's probably because if he would have crashed, he wouldn't have been moving. He wouldn't have been moving, just pulled off to the side. So Zero and Wizard are done with Baku already after 7 laps. Keyboard Magnussen is going to keep his lead for now. The top 4, not too much going on as of right now. They will just most likely follow each other through to the pit lane, with occasionally shifting positions. I'm looking at the midfield, what's going on in here. Lefter is currently leading Larson and Lepson in a DRS range, so these 3 gentlemen could be heading for a battle so far. We had too much action in the beginning, and now we just don't have any for a short period of time, at least until the pit stops. So that is just the way Baku is.
And the Collie Boys is barely gaining on Morrison here. He can't even make the playoff. Oh, he tries to go around the outside, but
I don't know what kind of setup he's driving, but Crowley Voice being behind him with DRS can't get ahead of him on this long straight. It just feels like you're playing F1 against AI for the first time on like level 120 AI. It's just impossible to pass it. It's like you're racing Williams against Red Bull in career mode. It's impossible to straight, even having DRS. But Crowley Voice is trying all his best to somehow find a spot and squeeze himself there. He just can't do that.
yeah, I think Morrison is going for the 0-0 wins. I think, he's drifting a bit, but I think if Collie Voice can get past Magnussen after the last DRS straight, he can pull a gap in the high downforce section. But if he stays behind in sector 2 and overtake only in the main straight, he will not be able to pull away.
Exactly. So Zero is not with us anymore. I can see Lepson has dropped back significantly. He was just behind Larson moments ago and is now already 1.5 away from Larson. He is still sticking up behind the Lefter is elite, so the V-Carb driver is still holding on to back of Aston Martin. In the meantime, Horizon has actually managed to close the gap towards the top 4 by 1 second. It was a 5 point something a couple of laps ago. It's now only 4.2, so has definitely had the potential to get
Vasco makes the overtake already on Collie Boys and he's hunting for Magnussen already. Oh my god. It's not even between Magnussen and Collie Boys, not between Vasco and Collie Boys pits.
Yeah, Crowley Voice pits. I mean, these softs have to be bleeding at this point in order to pit, and surely it's gonna put on tire compound's gonna put on. He's actually putting on a hard compound tire. Oh, interesting.
Look at the fight between P1 and P2. Vasco tries for the overtake, but top speed for Magnussen. Oh, and he's going on his side.
Way too close. Magnussen definitely there's life in this one, but Vasco was the one who was braver, and he does end up being on P1 as right now. Vasco is now leading the Azerbaijan Grand Prix with Hubert Magnussen sitting in the McLaren sandwich between him and Smelto. Crowley Voice has managed to come out in P10 after his pit stop, and he's 4 seconds behind the lead.
Yeah, and you can see the gap going up and up and up as Magnussen has no downforce to fight with, and he's already out of DRS range. Wow. Yeah, but I don't know, he's weaving or something. I have no idea what's
slip up. I'm wondering if that's Vasco being extremely quick or just Keyboard making a couple of small mistakes. We did saw a couple of slip-ups. Yellow flag between Magnetic and who was that? That's
the
definitely
wall.
Magnetic. I don't think... Yeah, the wall, exactly. He must have made contact because there was a yellow flag. He was standing still looking for a damage on his car. Can't see anything on his right
Smelto.
side.
Meanwhile, Smelto goes for the overtake on Magnussen, but as Magnussen pits, he's boxing already.
That is interesting.
Quite
interesting decision.
He almost connects the wall, and you see he's gonna see Vasco here slow down to get Smelto within his DRS as he did last week in Kota. This is the teamwork we expect to see from McLaren's.
Yeah, McLaren's are absolutely pushing to fight for construction.
Crowley Boys. What an undercut. Nice one from Crowley Boys, as they are on the same tire also, so not much of an advantage for Magnussen as he went started on mediums.
Yeah, Crowley Voice has made a great pit stop to gain position on keyboard Magnussen as of right now. We are waiting for the pit stops of the guys up in the top. As of right now, Magnetic has came into the pits and is going to come out at P13. I'm wondering which one of the McLaren is going to come in first, Basco or Smelto. If Basco will come into the pits, Smelto will have DRS, but Smelto had a bit bruised wing and Basco had to wait for him. So technically, he's the one of the McLarens who is faster. So we'll see which one of them will pass first.
Someone has wing damage in McLaren's. Who?
Yeah, I was mentioning Smelto has like a front right wing plate. Look at him.
Oh
you
yeah, I see
front,
that.
He is missing that small plate in front wing. So it's not a huge deal here in Baku. It does actually give you quite a boost on the straights, but then again, corners must be absolute pain in the A for Smelto. As he's gonna have DRS once again. Any of them coming in? Not quite yet. So McLarens are pushing hard. Could they potentially go for medium softs here in Baku? Is it even possible?
We'll see. But they just did a 43.5. Let's see what Crowley Voice does on the new hard. Oh, it's a
What just happened, Smelto? Smelto has done Vettel. He's done Sebastian Vettel and Aston Martin. He's just gone completely off. Had to spin his way around. I was like, okay, let's have a sip of water. No, but nothing's gonna happen on the straight as they're following each other. And I see Smelto sideways out of the track. So yeah, McLaren's strategy has gone to hell as Smelto has spun, went off into the off area. And is now back at P4 between Lefter with Elite and the Larsen. So yes, Smelto's race has definitely took a sharp turn. Basco is still leading the race with 5 seconds lead over Horizon. I'm looking for the guys who are fighting to lead Crowley and Keyboard. They're not joining the battle yet. Crowley is 3 seconds behind Joel, and he actually built a gap on Keyboard Magnussen. It was about 1 second when they were coming out of the pit lane, but it's now over 2.5. So Crowley not only had the pace on the better compound, he also has a pace on the same compound. So Keyboard Magnussen's chances for the win are decreasing. They're not 0 yet. They're definitely decreasing. Yellow flags again. Yeah, what's happening now?
Lebson has a bit of a moment there at that corner. I don't know what the name of it is, but I think he has no damage at the moment as he continues on his race.
He doesn't have damage, but he's going to have Crowley Voice on his back, and Crowley doesn't want to wait, but he's going to have to at least a bit lift off because he doesn't want to run right at the back of Alpine.
Smelto.
So he's now going to pass him.
Smelto boxing. I think he's going to miss his wing.
Sure, he wasn't wasting too much time. Let's see. Is he changing front wing? I can't see from this camera angle. I'm pretty sure he is during the time pit stop. So yeah, Smelto changing his front wing to get back onto the track. So Basco will most likely come in right now or at the next lap as he's still leading the race without a pit stop. Lefter is elite, is right at the back of Horizon. I didn't notice was that the case throughout the race or it just happened right now. As the Aston Martin has caught up to the Haas. Crowley Voice is already in the DRS range of DRS from Joel 8 from the kick Sauber, so surely he's going to pass him any time now. And Keyboard Magnussen 3 seconds behind him. This is a great chance for Joel to actually hold up Crowley Voice just a bit to allow Keyboard Magnussen to get closer. Not quite like that. I didn't mean it that way, as he literally stops in the middle of the track after a mistake. And he ends up behind Keyboard Magnussen. So yeah, it's not going to help his teammate at all. And Crowley Voice just passed him to go up into P4, 7 seconds behind the guys ahead of him who didn't came into the pit stops. I'm wondering if Basco has any chance of coming out of the pit lane ahead of Crowley Voice.
No
I don't
way.
believe it. What do you think?
No, possible. No, impossible. He will come out about ahead of P6 and 12. And he will be like 7 or 6 seconds behind Crowley Voice, I think. But he's not pitting.
And I'm wondering, yeah, this could be medium softs. I mean, if he will deliver them all the way to at least lap 16, then 10 laps on softs is not crazy. It's not ridiculous to think this is a possibility for him. He's definitely lacking pace as of right now because Horizon, who was like 5.5 seconds behind him a couple of laps ago, has already decreased the gap to 4.5. So Basco is not the fastest man on the car on the track right now, surely. But then again, how much more can he go on these used mediums? And is this going to be effective? Holy Voice proved the softs can be effective. But let's be honest, he gained most of the positions due to the carnage on the track. He was quick, sure, but the amount of positions gained was mainly due to a carnage. So the question is, will this strategy of medium softs actually work out for Basco? I have to wonder.
I think he's losing too much time at the moment. If it's in a safety car, yeah, maybe, but I don't see the new tires being that much powerful to catch up Crowley Boys. As Crowley Boys is not slow, he's on the pace. He's, I think, one of the top 3 fastest guys in this race at the moment, and the gap when someone has crashed. Sorry.
Showell again had a slip up near the castle section. Any kind of damage on a Sauber? I don't see his left front wing plate, or am I just blind? No, I'm not. There is no front left wing plate on the Kick Sauber of Joel 8. So small scrape damage, same with Smelto, like he had one before.
Basco is boxing, finally.
Most likely gonna go for hards. I mean,
I think mediums, man. I think soft. Oh no, it's hards.
No, I don't think he would have get these subs to the finish line.
Yeah.
At least they would have been scraped all the way through. So he's gonna most likely just go for hards later on right now, and he's gonna use them as much as possible, just absolutely shred them in order to somehow get caught up. Because as of right now, of course, Horizon is leading the race with left for his lead, hunting him down, but once they pit, Cordy Voice will be back into the lead, and look at the gap between himself and Keyboard Magnussen. 4 seconds already.
8 seconds.
So Keyboard definitely is
sorry.
not fast. Keyboard is definitely not faster than Crowley, so Crowley is on a highway to a victory. All he has to do is not make a mistake and keep the pace he's doing right now in order to win. I mean, there's nothing that Keyboard can do to stop him so far. Basco, he had a pace, but he's far behind Crowley. He's going to have to push all the way through to the end in order to somehow challenge Crowley Voice at the finish line. But Crowley Voice right now is looking like a very strong favorite to win this GP. Joel has stopped for fresh softs, as he came out of the pit lane. Did he change this front wing? I mean, I don't see any more damage on it, so must have done that. P10 as of right now. Finsick is still not racing, most likely will not until the end of the race. Who is yet to box? Eversnax still hasn't stopped, and now Larson is pushing hard on him. Most likely gonna get him at the main straight. And Lefter is elite, is looking to throw a challenge to Horizon. These two are having a moment as they're battling for the lead, even if it's temporary lead. And Lefter is elite does win the P1 from Horizon, and Aston Martin is now leading the race after overtaking Haas. Holy Voice is gaining up on them, 2.3 seconds already from Holy Voice as he's closing the gap towards the 2 guys in front. And Keyboard Magnussen is trying to keep up with Crowley, but he's not closing the gap anyhow. Same with Basco. He's absolutely not getting closer towards Crowley enough in order to fight for the win. So 15 laps to go, and Crowley Voice is in a very, very comfortable spot right now. Larson still wasn't able to pass Eversnax, despite Eversnax already being on a very, very much used tire compound. So wondering when is Larson going to make a maneuver on a Haas driver.
Yeah, Larson is a very defensive driver usually, sorry. And he won't make the overtake unless it's the straight, but he doesn't seem to be...
I mean, I'm not sure if he's not wasting time behind Eversnax, who is on very, very used hard compound, so Larson must be thinking about overtaking Eversnax sooner or later. I mean, Eversnax will eventually have to come into the pits. By the way, we haven't talked about this, but neither did Lefter is Elite or Horizon still came into the pits, and they're doing it just now. I was about to say maybe they're gonna go for soft, but they just came into the pits, so it's unlikely, but not impossible. Let's see what's gonna be a tire selection for Aston Martin. Those are mediums. And Horizon will go for mediums as well, so no risk taken from almost anybody on the grid as of right now. So Crowley Voice is back to being a leader of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix, with Keyboard Magnussen being in second, Vasco in third, and Lefter is Elite coming out in P4 right ahead of Horizon. But there's a huge traffic behind these two as Eversnax has joined them on used tires, and there's Larson as well. Here comes Horizon to bring it back to P4. Lefter's Elite is down to P5 with Eversnax now pushing hard, trying to join this battle somehow, having Larson on his back. So it's a four-man battle for P4, P5, and P6 between those guys. Smelto is closing in on them as well, so this could be a nice fight in the midfield as the top boys are spread evenly right now, but the midfield is all about the action. Larson is looking for his moment, but he can't get past Eversnax, who's on 12 laps old. Hard tires. Eversnax is still holding off Larson somehow, some way. Smelto will eventually get hasty, and now this could be a chance for Smelto. Larson goes to the outside. Basically, Eversnax let both of them pass. Not sure why was that. Maybe just a actually nice guy, because he just allowed to pass both Smelto and Larson as the McLaren and V-Carb just past the Haas and also tires. Not sure, was that a good decision? Maybe some kind of mistake. Finsick is back, ladies and gentlemen. The Ferrari driver who was P, I believe, 2 on the starting grid is back into a race. And in the meantime, Lefter is Elite as on the Horizon to go back into P4. Eversnax is finally coming in to the pit stops to change his hard tires. We'll see what compound it's going to be for a Haas driver.
Longest
Most likely mediums.
Windows update for Finsick there, but look at the gaps between P1, P2, and P3. The same, around the same as they were when Basco left the pits. No change.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a great fight until it wasn't, because as of right now, the only thing that can shift up the race is some kind of strategy up front, and Verge has retired, but it's in the pit lane, so it's not going to change absolutely anything. And Finsick is coming in to change tires for mediums. I'm wondering if somehow he still hope for point. I mean, he's P11, so 12 maybe. So all he has to do is just hope for 2 more DNFs and he will scrap a point or 2, so that's also possible. It is a shame we didn't show him race, but yeah, probably get some more chances in the future, hopefully. What about the fight in the midfield? The only fight right now going on is Larson against Smelto because of the fact that Eversnax is finally pitted, so Larson is now pushing on the back of Smelto. Also, Horizon is still battling, Lefter is Elite, but until they make some kind of contact or mistake, there's not going to be too much going on there. Most likely he's going to either swap the positions by using the VRS Slipstream, or when it comes to Larson, he may just take his defensive driving style and just not go for a too harsh attack and just follow Smelto through. Always Voice leading with 4.5 seconds worth of gap over Keyboard.
Is like, has Smelto been overcut by Horizon and Lefties?
I believe he was. I believe he was stuck behind Larson and Eversnax, because remember a couple of laps ago, Eversnax was ahead of Larson and Smelto. He was on used old hards, so most likely he was slowing them down to the point where they just managed to get out of the pit stops ahead of these guys, especially Smelto. So yeah, Smelto must have lost time on driving behind both Larson and Eversnax. So this was most likely where Lefter and Horizon has gained positions.
I think there's an opportunity here for Lefteris to fight for a podium. He's not far off Basco, and there's about 8 laps left, I mean 6 laps left, and Lefteris is on the mediums, so if he has pace, he can challenge for a podium, maybe.
Absolutely.
Oh.
There's the potential. Yellow flags, that is again kicks out for I believe. I'm not entirely sure. But we don't have any kind of VSC or a safety car. I'm looking for some damage on a kick Sauber. There's absolutely none, so I'm not sure what the game was going on about. As we are entering lap 19 out of 26. Crowley Voice is unharmed as of right now and is under no threat from anybody for the win. Keyword Magnussen also going strong. Basco sitting comfortably at P3. The only battle we're gonna have to the finish line as of right now, it seems, is between Lefter's Elite and Horizon for P4, and between Larson and Smelto for P6. That is the only battles we're gonna have going on as of right now, so we're gonna have to wait a bit longer to see the actual fight for positions, as pit stops have really slowed down the race. Eversnacks has managed to pull off the fastest lap of the race, and he's sitting at P10, so he will get that bonus point for the fastest lap. That is if he finishes in the top 10. He's in the top 10 right now. Finsick has joined the race and is trying to hunt down Magnetic for P11. So we'll see if he will get any closer as the race progresses.
That is a slight crash from Horizon on the wall. He has lost a bit of time and only DRS from Lefteris. Lefteris, so caught I think 6/10 the last lap to Basco. Interesting.
Yeah, could be the case. So we'll see if there are gonna be any shifts in top guys on the podium. As of right now, we basically just have to sit back in our chairs and relax because there's not too much going on as of right now. There is a fight between Horizon and Lefter is a lead, but Lefter is actually building quite a nice gap over the Haas driver, and Horizon is not really looking to be pushing too hard to pass the Aston Martin. So Larson, like you said, not much of an offensive driver.
I just looked at the lap times for Basco and Lefteris, and Lefteris is doing 1 second per lap quicker than Basco last lap. So he is catching up fast to Basco, and it will be interesting to see by the end of this race if Lefteris can fight Basco or not. Yes.
Alright, we're gonna have to wait and see what's going to happen. Not gonna be any shifts as of right now. We don't have any action going on from Larson. He's still carefully driving behind Smelto.
Yeah, carefully driving is Larson's motto here in Formula 1 racing.
Yeah,
you know, sorry.
Great
no.
race start. Yeah.
I harp on that a lot to Larson. Many times I say he's a careful driver, but I think no one can deny that. And I think he missed chances for wins and more even, with a bit of over the line because of driving. He doesn't seem to be wanting to challenge cars or go for risky overtakes, and he will be stuck in DRS trains for the rest of his career if he continues doing that. Sorry, but sorry to be harsh, but this is the reality.
Don't apologize to me. Apologize to him if he's gonna be mad. We'll see. In the meantime, Finsick, after he rejoined the race, is now challenging Magnetic for P11. And it's a sad thing to say that this is the most exciting thing we've got going on so far in this race after the pit stops.
Lefteris last lap caught 9/10 to Basco. 9/10. Yes.
Okay.
This is
so
interesting.
Gonna have a fight. And Eversnacks passed Joel. I missed the part where Joel was actually right ahead of Eversnacks. I missed completely when that happened. But yeah, Snacks just passed Joel for P9. And I'm wondering if Lefter is Elite will join the battle for the podium. As you said, he's on the run right now. He actually managed to pull the gap on the Horizon, which is very difficult to do here in Baku because you get DRS in for so long on these straights, and he still managed to pull the gap on the guy behind him, and this gap just keeps on getting bigger, and the gap to Basco keeps on being decreased.
Vincic gets past Magnetic and goes up to P11. What could have been? What could have been for Vincic if he was able to join the race at the start?
Sadly, we can only think and dream, because this could have been a big one. I'm wondering how good Lefter is Elite's tires are going to be at the ending stages of the race, because we're entering the final moments. He's on 5-lap old mediums. He's going to be on a bit worse mediums at the end of the race. He's 2.6 behind Basco. He's on absolute flyers for a couple of past laps. He's pushing all the way through. But is this going to be enough to join the battle for the podium? As of right now, Crowley is absolutely flying, 7.6 out of Keyboard. Keyboard is 4.7 ahead of Basco, so no changes seems to be going on for P1 and P2, but the P3 of Basco is still under threat from Lefter is Elite, Aston Martin, who just keeps pushing all the way through.
Lefteris has caught up 1.2 seconds last lap. He is coming for Basco, and he's coming for that podium position for sure.
Let this guy cook. This guy's doing some good things. We'll see what he's going to be able to give us. Final moments of this race, which are closer than ever now. We're done, almost done with lap 22 out of 26, so the race is coming to an end. Joel is on very much used softs, and they're only gonna get worse, so I'm wondering if Vincic could technically still go for a possible P10. I know he's miles away, but Joel will either have to make a stop or have to... Ooh, Joel just did what Melto has done before. He's gone into the runoff area, so this one was a different runoff area, but still, that is definitely gonna allow Vincic to challenge for point, as he's gonna decrease the gap to Quicksalvo by a couple of seconds.
It seems every time you speak about Joel, he does something that causes a yellow flag. There's maybe a correlation there.
It's just that those things are catching my attention, you know. I'm not cursing him yet. The commentator curses, we'll remember about that.
Even if Vincic gets P10, he won't get a point, unfortunately, because he didn't drive
because he was,
the race.
It is a shame, surely. 1.5, sorry, by Lefter is Elite, down to Basco. At this point, we have to say it's not a matter of if you'll pass Basco, but when. And that when could be coming in at any moment, as he's closing the gap on McLaren every single lap now, and he just keeps getting closer. Now the question is, can he actually cross the finish line ahead of him? Well, that's a different pair of shoes, because passing McLaren is one thing, but actually delivering him, finishing ahead of him on the straight line, that's going to be totally different job for Lefter is Elite. But still, let's praise the fact that this man was so far behind Basco, and due to a good strategy and a great pace, he managed to close the gap, and he's now in a fight for podium. Nonetheless, he's at 90% of battery, 80 already, while Basco is at 50. So Lefter is Elite has all the arguments in the world to go for that podium. Now we just have to take it and go home with it.
Caught up 1.1 seconds last lap. This lap, much less, only a tenth or two. The gap in the tires are reducing a lot, but let's see the pressure what causes for Basco.
Basco has to stay focused all the way through, as we are 3 laps away from the end of the race, including this one, 24, 25, and 26 to finish the race. Lefter is Elite. 1.2 is a gap to Basco as of right now. Basco's trying to pull away as he's burning the battery. And this might be a good decision to do it right now, because the further they go, Lefter is Elite will technically have worse tires. So Aston Martin driver, in theory, should be pushing right now. Eversnux gets the fastest lap of the race as he passes Lexen to gain P8 as of right now. see, and the gap to Basco has grown. 1.6. Something must have happened for Lefter's lead because he was just about to be in the DRS zone of Basco, and he was down to 1.6. Ooh, again. Difficult situation for Lefter's elite who was struggling on his tire split. If I was him,
Oh my god. Yeah.
We're gonna have a fun time playing this game. Lefter is elite is close to get on. 1.1 away from a McLaren, and he has 60% of the battery. What I would do if I was him is I would just burn battery all the way through, catch the DRS, and then fight, because if he manages to stay out of DRS, that is Basco, using his own battery, it's going to be more difficult for Lefter is elite to catch him on the final lap. We've got 2 laps of racing to go. Lefter is elite still has 60% of the battery. He is down. Increase the gap to less than a second, but he's not in DRS zone yet. In the meantime, Wilson is making a pit stop. Please be to the damage. He's going to attempt the fastest lap. Well, tire selection will show us a lot. Most likely going to go for a possible fastest lap time.
Let's see. I think this is the last try for Lefteris. He has the ERS, but maybe the guy ahead of Basco is it Magnussen or I have no idea who that is, but maybe he can give him DRS and help him keep Lefteris behind. But let's see what's happening now.
Henrik's keyboard, who has lost a lot of gap over Basco. It's only down to 2 seconds. Here comes Lefter is elite, as he's gonna actually fight for the podium right now. 60% of battery. Basco left with 30. He's gonna have a DRS, one more DRS right behind this corner, and then only he's gonna have one more go on the final straight. He's gonna go for it right now. He's gonna go for it at the final DRS. He doesn't look like he's gonna push right now. He is burning the battery though, but it's not gonna be enough. He's looking for his way past him, but it's not enough. So he's gonna have to sit back, focus, stay as close as possible, and then make a final charge and final moment of the race. In the meantime, Smelto and Eversnux are going at it for P5, as Smelto has passed the Smelto has passed Horizon. Yeah. Passed Horizon for P5, and Finsick did pass Joel for P10. Again, I'm gonna not for Finsick too much. So yeah, we're heading to the final sectors with the race leader Crowley Voice, who is about to wrap up the race. He had a marvelous start on this first stint of soft tires. He made so many positions. Obvious driver of the day after winning the whole thing from the back. Let's not forget he did put a half into a wall, but sometimes you have to make sacrifices in order to win. You have to lose the battle to win the war, and the war is won by the none other than Crowley Voice of Ferrari, who's coming across the finish line to pick up a win here in Baku. What's going on in the back?
Lefteris spun in the last corner. Oh my god!
Lefteris spun on the final corners of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So Magnussen will remain at P2 and Basco will remain P3. He closes the podium. Lefter is elite, had all the tools in the world to do so, but he failed to do it. Smelto comes behind his teammate in P4, Horizon in P5, Larson P6, Lefter will have to settle for P7, Eversnux is P8, Lapson will go for P9, and Finsick P10 despite not collecting points, so the point will go to Joel, and Magnetic is the final man on the finish line. What a race and what a finish. Jesus.
I was on board
I
with
mean,
the Crowley voice and I didn't really catch Lefteris spinning
yeah,
set
same.
in the minimap.
Same. I was so focused on Crowley voice, I was like, okay, that's it. Nothing's more gonna happen. And then I see him going down the places. I'm like, what's happened? What's going on? How?
I for sure. Oh, Lepsen goes for fast
Oh,
lap and he gets it.
Lepsen. Yeah, he stole the fastest lap on the final lap of the race. That's a good one for him. So yeah, what a heartbreak for Lefter is Elite, and what a run from Crowley voiced. I mean, how many positions did he gain? He actually gained like what, 14 places, something like that. Insane. Crowley voice.
You know, I'm shipping Crowley voice to the army. He can't play F1 anymore, and that's why this will be his last race.
It's just a prank, bro. The prank, and you sign him for military to send him to like Afghanistan.
Well,
to
the
Azerbaijan.
military part is correct, but me sending him is not correct. Anyway,
Jeez.
the Tifosi is top the podium, right? The Tifosi, yes. And
Absolutely, yes.
will be celebrations for the Crowley voice retiring from F1 for the moment being, but great race. I think Basco was lucky that Lefteris spun. I think that could have been a great ending there for the last podium decision. But Magnussen also great race from him. I think the correct pit was Crowley voice and Magnussen. They pit early, and the tire delta was not that big between early stops and late stops. So Basco could not really gain much with the new tires.
Absolutely. And Crowley had even better one because he came out like what, a second ahead of Kurt Magnussen. So yeah, Crowley definitely had the best pit stop of all the guys on the grid and the best pace. I mean, that is clear as a day that Crowley voice was the fastest guy today. So absolutely, I think driver of the day will head into this direction because absolutely incredible. I got info from Eversnacks that we can grab him and Horizon, his teammate, together. So let's just go ahead and do that for our first interview tonight. Hello, the Haas brothers. How are you doing?
What's up, dudes?
So, quite the race here at the streets of Baku. And Eversnacks, let's start with Crowley voice. I know his race was full of confetti, but from your perspective, he must have been your enemy this race. I mean, what happened there?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked to each other after stepping out of the car. It's these incidents happen. I'll pass it on to the FIA. We'll see what happens. I think he just made a mistake there in turn one, and I did get quite some damage from that. Quite unfortunate to have these kind of incidents again. I've been having these incidents all year, and I'm starting to get slightly annoyed now. But yeah, I thought I had the pace, but you can't always be lucky. And congrats to Quality Voice. I think he started at the back as well, so yeah. Definitely good race for him. And I'll let him have every bit of fame he gets today because I don't think he'll be racing the next few races.
Yeah, absolutely. And Horizon, what happened there? Because you were actually putting up quite a fight against Lefter is Elite until the moment you just weren't. Something must have happened that you just dropped out of the DRS range. He actually pulled away so good. He had such a good pace. You just couldn't keep up with him. What happened there?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was because of the tires. I pushed the last laps a little bit too hard, so my tires warmed up and they just spin in corners and such things. But it really surprised me that he could keep the pace on me so well. I think he was about 3 seconds or 2 to 3 seconds behind me, and about 1 to 5 laps he was nearly at my back of a car. So I don't know exactly what happened, but well done. I mean, it's my first race here in this
SLR.
Slipstream League, SLR. And
Yeah.
I was so nervous at the beginning. I didn't even dreamed about the pole position. Yeah, about points. I just focused on clean driving, not doing so many mistakes, and just finishing my first race here in the SLR.
Yeah,
So
on the point of no mistakes and clean driving, Eversnacks, this is your 5th race in a row, or 10th race in a row, or 11th race in a row, where you in the interviews say, "We'll leave it to the FIA." Will it improve? Will it change? Will Eversnacks win a race in Tier 2 this season? Is there hope?
We'll see, I guess. I mean, I got points today. I almost had the fastest lap. Lapson pitted at the end because he had the space at the back. Otherwise, I would have had the fastest lap, 5 points. Would have been pretty good. But yeah, I think just pace wise, I'm fast enough. I'm just a magnet for chaos this season. I don't know. I'm hoping it'll improve. There's some internal team discourse we'll have to discuss later on as well. But yeah, I think there's a chance that it'll get better, but I've lost all hope already, you know.
No, man. I remember seeing you last season, and you had a bunch of great races. I have no idea what happened this game. It just not been going your way, but I am praying for good results in the coming races, hopefully. Take care with
Yeah,
you.
thank you.
Same punk.
Yeah, so thank you, Hast guys, for coming into our commentators booth. And final question as we are heading into next track next week, it's gonna be Suzuka, Japan. What are your
Ooh.
thoughts about this track?
Oh, this is Eversnack's playground.
I'm not actually that slow in Japan.
That's slow.
But it's I've got some pace there, but it's a hard track to drive. It's very technical, especially the first sector. Quite dangerous as well. It's really fast to spin there. But yeah, I think good results are on the table always. If I get a good qualifying, good launch off the start, maybe I'll get some podium positions next week. I'm not going to rule that out.
And for
Mhm.
Horizon, or how do you say your name? Sorry, Horizon.
it's Horizon.
Horizon. Okay.
It's Horizon.
So yeah, what do you think about Japan? Do you have driven it yet or no?
I think Japan will be a big issue because I'm not consistent with my driving skills. I'm likely to make mistakes everywhere, so it will be a very, very hard track for me to solve because of the S's in the first sector, and especially on the great. What was the name again?
Which one? Which name?
On the main straight.
On straight,
SS?
yeah, thank you. On the main straight,
Ah.
I have many worries about there because after that there comes the
SS.
weird U shape. No, before the SS.
Oh, turn 1, 2.
Turn 1, yeah, turn 1, 2.
Yeah.
I made there many mistakes, so it will be very, very hard for me.
Wait, have you driven here in before Horizon?
I started driving in F1 this year in April because
Oh.
F1 23 was on sale for about 30 euros or something. And yeah, then Eversnacks took me along the game, and after 6 months or so, I'm here in SLR.
Wow,
Yeah, it's
what a
always the
journey.
same. You take one of those guys. You take one of those guys in. You bring them into the league, and suddenly they're much quicker than you. I still remember when I used to beat Mepo. You know.
Used to is the key word here. But yeah, thank you guys for being here in the interviews, and great race from both of you. It'll be, I think, much better result in the future, and thank you for this interview.
All right. Bye bye.
Goodbye. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye. And we also have Crowley voice in an interview section. Hello.
Hello.
11 seconds.
Quite the race, huh?
What? I mean,
I'm sorry, but what is this? Why is one race good and one race horrible and one race great? What is this? Is consistency here?
okay. So when was it a good race before that?
I think Netherlands. I think
No.
no. Monza
Nah.
maybe. No, Monza.
No,
Monza
no, no.
forgets.
I effed up in all of those races myself. Even like Texas.
No, Texas. Yeah, we saw clearly, and we didn't like to see it even. We wanted to hide it, but we move on. Baku,
All
great
right,
race
yeah.
for you. P14 or 15 to P1. What was the decision to go on the soft? Tell us your mind.
All right. So great grip. Hard.
Okay.
I don't know. Hard runners would need like 5 to 6 laps to find the grip, and medium runners like a bit less. And yeah, I was expecting like an early safety car. I mean, Baku
Thought
with
you.
0 safety cars in this year, miracle.
Yeah.
And yeah, I tried, to do the massive undercut with my hearts, and which I mean, it worked out because I managed to break the DRS from Magnussen. Otherwise, that guy he had like 0 wings again, and I couldn't get away from him.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's like the moment that everything changed.
Yeah. Honestly,
The
like,
one,
there didn't seem to be any pace difference between you, Magnussen, and Pasco in the first few laps on the hards. It seemed like all were equal tires. But after, I think you really, pulled the gap on them and controlled the race very well. But there was a point midway in the race before you went on the hards where it was fight between you and Magnussen. How did you manage that? Like, he was quickly passing you, even if you passed him on the main straight, he was going back on the second straight. How can you manage that, like, guy with 0 wings? How can you like overtake and stay ahead?
I mean, I didn't manage because I had to waste like 70% of battery each time on the final straight, and the guy was flashing, and he was still going faster than me. So I don't know. I really don't know how he can drive on a keyboard, and like in this middle section with 0 wings. That's like insane.
Yeah, that is insane. So, but we'll not ask you about next race because
Oh
uh,
yeah, Tuesday I'm out.
wait, Tuesday. Ah,
Tuesday before the race.
we can make tier 2 on Tuesday just for you, you know.
No, 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 no.
Nah.
I don't want.
Okay, you don't want to. Okay, then we not do it. But yeah, it's been a good season for you as a reserve. No full-time seats. I don't know why though.
Yep.
But you done well, honestly. Like, yeah, I haven't. You did great last season. I think you won the championship in tier 3 last season,
You think? Yep.
and there was an expectation that you would win this season, but they were driver faster than you, and you were slow. Sometimes not fast, sometimes fast, sometimes slow. But yeah, I think it's been a good season for you. What, like, tell me your opinion. Did you enjoy this game, this season? Did you tell me about, like, speak?
I mean, it was a short one,
Yeah, it was short.
uh, but yeah, it was definitely worth it. Having like buying the game just for those races. I
Yeah,
had
I
fun.
remember. He was speaking all the time. I will not buy F124. It's a scam. It's a scam. It's a scam. But he will be scammed as always, as all of us. This game,
Yeah,
we,
yeah, yeah,
we
yeah.
can't stop.
I'm always getting scammed when the game releases the game on like a discount, the Champions Edition, and it's cheaper than the regular edition. I'm always buying it.
So this is a strategy that EA should tackle. But
Yeah, 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 yeah. Even next year, when I will still be in the army. I might buy it like 3 months before I'm able to race again.
it's worth it. And yeah, how long will you be away? If you can say, if you know.
highlights 12 months, a
Oh
year.
no!
You will handle it. You will
Oh
manage
my
without me.
god. Okay,
I
this is turning
I know
to
you are. I
regular
know you
racing,
are
man.
sad now.
No, you should be a professional as an interviews. CM Punk, take it away.
What am I supposed to add after this one? Come on, you throw me under the bus. I can't top it. Now, all I can say is we really hope to see you back for the voice as soon as possible. Wish you all the best, and yeah, we wish to see you back on the track, especially when you put up such a banger performance. Because I'm pretty sure everybody will agree that you're a driver of the day. So yeah, if you will deliver such things like this today, yeah, come back to us as soon as possible. Come on, keep it up.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. See you. Bye.
Well, interesting race, huh? That one.
Oh, quite the race. Yeah,
It was
especially
quite
for
middle quiet, but the fir-
yeah, yeah.
the beginning and end was very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Exactly.
I hoped for more drivers because I think they'll likely been a bit more fighting in the middle, and but honestly, the drivers really put a good performance. I think none of them
Mm-hmm.
have crashed and DNF'd. They're all in the pit lane, so clean, somewhat clean. But we've seen like a couple incidents with especially with Eversnacks and Collie Boys fighting for the top three positions. But yeah, I think it was a good one for tier two. And any last words, Simpunk?
Yeah, that is it for today. So, thank you guys for staying here with us. I would also like to invite you for this week, Friday edition of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in Tier 1, and then join us for our next race in Suzuka next week for